Kia ora whānau. Welcome to the Guna Hub. Today we're going to discuss where we go from here after the horrible, disappointing hiding we got from Man City. This is Nev, I'm Amit. Kia ora to all the whānau all around the world. Please, if you like this video, we're going to say that straight away. Subscribe and like it, and if you have any feedback or comments, feel free to share.
Yeah.
So, bro, over to you. How do you feel?
Still disappointed.
Yeah.
Still glum. And it doesn't help that we're kicking up into winter here, so the weather outside is terrible.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's suiting our mood at the moment. But yeah.
Hide under my bed. Not even in it.
Yeah. Where do we go from here, right? So, we've been brilliant pretty much 3/4 of the season.
We've pretty much led the way the whole year.
We've played brilliantly. We've had some very silky football, some great stuff to watch, some really good individual performances. But the last month, it's been near awful. We've had 3 draws and a loss now. And the City game in particular isn't really the most disappointing one.
No,
it's actually the 3 draws before that. Liverpool was always going to be a tough game, but to go 2-0 up and then concede the way we did. And then after that, West Ham and Southampton, 2 draws against teams that the top of the table should be winning.
Putting away, right?
Putting away, bro.
Yeah.
And 2 disappointing draws there. Then leading into the City defeat, we are crumbling at the moment, it feels like. And it's no longer in our hands. So what do we do from here? Where do we go from here?
Yeah. So we've got 5 games left, bro. What do you want to see? How can we win this league? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it goes without saying we need to win the last 5 games, right?
Yeah.
We have to act like these 5 games are going to win us the league, and we have to go all out. But I think it's time now for changes. I think there needs to be a little bit of rotation. The players that are playing at the moment that have been starting, they're players that have got us through the season. Mm-hmm. But the last month has shown that they're not stepping up at the moment. Either the form's bad, either the confidence is gone. It's something. But Arteta needs to change something now. He needs the same. Yeah.
I sort of agree, but I disagree a lot with your point too. I think what's happened is it's not really the players. To me, the players are still performing a similar sort of way. It's just teams have figured us out. And a lot has to be said in the way that Arteta's set up our team in the last 4 games. We haven't had a win. That's not a form of champions. And every single game, we've kind of been caught out because of tactics. The way we're set up, everyone knows what we're going to do. Yeah. Everyone knows where we can be picked out. And that's exactly where we've been picked out.
Yeah, so would you say we still need changes then?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what we need, because Arteta's had this belief in his strategy, in his tactics, and it's worked till now.
Brilliant.
Yeah. That's why we're in, in with a chance. But he should have kind of envisioned that people are gonna start catching on. It's the Premier League. This is pro football. It's not just amateurs that whatever you do is just gonna work.
Yeah, and also it's also if you're playing the same way every game. In a 38-game season, there's gonna come a point where teams are gonna figure you out, right? Yeah. If it was a 20-game season, then yeah, sure, it'll work.
But I think he's relied on his tactics. He's relied on the character everyone showed. And don't get me wrong, bro. The team have shown mean character this year. They can be champions. Yeah. Maybe not this year. Still can.
Yeah, still a chance.
In my heart, I feel like City's gonna slip. And they got some tough games. You
slipped.
I'm slipping. Nah, but their last game of the season, Brentford, awful place to go, awful. And if we keep it, if we keep winning, we might have a chance in that last game of the season.
Yeah, I guess.
And me and you are gonna be there.
Yeah.
For the Wolves game.
Yeah, we
Like,
are.
imagine that if we have a chance in that last game, bro.
Yeah.
Even if we have a chance, and like, that's still good enough for me.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we don't win,
Well, currently, mathematically, there's a chance, right? And until mathematically you're not in it,
Yeah.
there's always a chance.
So what's stopping us from still believing?
Yeah.
You know,
And the
now
performances.
the pressure is on them to win every single game
Mm.
because if they slip up, we're gonna take over them. That was us last week.
Mm.
So the whole ball game's changed.
Mm.
But the difference is City's been there, they've done that.
Mm.
You know, they've been in this position.
Mm.
They've always like in the last 6 seasons they've won 5 league titles.
Mm.
So the experience and in that game, the City game, has showed. Like Arteta got it wrong because he was naive. Showed as an experience, but then so did the players.
Mm.
You know, there's like I think people forget there's a sense of responsibility on the players too to show that you know that they can adapt, they can understand the situation, they understand that yes, this is the biggest game of the year. Yes, maybe we should be cautious. Yes, maybe we shouldn't give them space.
You know, I agree, but I also, to your point, Arteta's the leader, and when the game's not going your way, he's the one that should be sending out the instructions or making the changes on the pitch to adapt to the situation. And from what I saw in the game and what I could see, Arteta didn't make any. He didn't give any instructions. Didn't make any changes.
No.
Didn't change anything.
Yeah.
So you know,
No,
it needs to come from Arteta as well. So.
I totally agree, bro. And we kind of called it before the game, the City game.
Yeah.
Like we said that he needs to start, just
Adapting on his feet,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
like making change instead of planning stuff and instead of waiting for his players to deliver. Sometimes a change is good, and like I feel like every time he does make a substitution or does change anything, it's just because someone's injured or he's planned it, not to make a difference.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about changes. So, what do you want to see in the last 5 games?
I haven't seen my brother Smith Rowe, bro, this whole season. He was our best player, like one of our best players last year, wasn't he? Like, why is he not getting a run? Like, he is what you need in this time of the year. Like, someone in the midfield that gets the ball, runs at you, creates space for people. Like, he'll draw defenders in. Like, he'll take the ball, he'll run at defenders, or midfielders, because he starts from midfield, right? He runs at them. He'll suck people in. It'll create space for people like Saka, like Martinelli, like Jesus. If Jesus gets the ball and he has to turn, he's gonna turn that one centre back every single day, bro. His turns are so good. But the problem is everyone knows that he's our he's our only lone striker. Like he's crowded up.
So on that point, I agree. I would love to see Smith Rowe now, and especially because, like you said, he's someone who can carry the ball. And our midfield trio of Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard, neither of them are like
direct.
Yeah, they're not very good at picking up the ball and carrying it 10 meters, 15 meters, and getting past people.
They're good ball players.
Yes, yeah. I mean, they're all passes, but Smith Rowe at this time of the season might be crucial. But who would you bring him in for? Because Arteta seems to use him more so on the left, where Martinelli plays, and I don't think you can take Martinelli off. So
nah, I feel like you kind of have to, and this is sad because this guy's probably been our most consistent players instead of Xhaka. And nothing against him, like I said, he's been our most consistent player. He's been influential. But when you need something different, that's when you gamble with someone like Smith Rowe, right? Like, if you chuck him on, people are going to be like, oh, wow, like, why is he starting for Xhaka? Like, what are we supposed to do now? The whole week we planned for them to set up this way. I think that's what we haven't done. Like, the last 4 games, it's just been like, oh yeah, we know who's going to play. Instead of this guy's just going to be someone that's going to be similar. But he's going to do the same thing, Whereas Smith Rowe, and to be honest, somewhat is like Tierney. We talk about this every week. He's an out and out left back. Up, down, up, down. He's not introverted, like how, the way we set up, the way Zinchenko plays. That's been figured out now. Look at Man City. They exploited us big time. there's pros of that happening, and there's big cons too. But you have to understand the way Arsenal plays to be able to exploit it, and
Yeah.
that's what's started to happen.
So you'd bring on Smith Rowe for Xhaka and
Yeah.
Tierney for Zin.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
And it's not even holding, like, we say, a lot of people are saying it's because Saliba's missing. But is it? Like, what's holding them wrong?
Mm.
Now that I've, like, actually sat there and thought about it, yeah, Haaland, like, bullied him. But Haaland probably would have bullied Saliba too.
Mm.
What is saying that Haaland would have bullied
Well,
Saliba?
the debate about holding is that because Saliba pushes up more than what Holding does, and he has the pace to get back, that his performance, Saliba being there, affects Partey
Yeah.
and Ben White and Gabriel. And when Holding's there, even though he hasn't done anything particularly wrong, but because he doesn't have the same ability to get up and down the pitch and be as composed, and he's not that good at ball playing either, that it affects those three players around him the most. And I mean, it's evidence. Like Partey's performances have dropped since Holding's been there. Gabriel's has dropped. Ben White doesn't look the same. No one looks as assured.
Yeah.
In position, out of position. So,
I agree with that.
but in saying that, yeah, Holding's done nothing wrong particularly. But
You can't blame him. But then, see, all those guys you mentioned, that is what I mean about taking ownership. Responsibility. Like, this guy's out. Shouldn't you go and perform like someone, like, double your performances?
Yeah.
Work that 10% extra harder.
yeah.
And that's what we haven't done.
I think for this next game against Chelsea, I would actually take Partey out. He's had a couple of blinders the last couple of games.
Yeah.
I would stick Jorginho in.
Mm.
I would leave Xhaka and Odegaard. And I would probably take out Jesus for Trossard. And then, I think now's the time to rotate if we're going to do anything. And like you said, I'll probably put Tierney in. You could even switch it up to a back three if you wanted and go White, Tierney, Gabriel, put
Why
Saka and Martinelli out on the
It's
wings.
probably what we should have done anyway.
I think that would be the way to go if you want to try and do something different in your last 5 games and surprise your opponents and make use of what we have and putting our strongest team out there. I would go Tierney, Gabriel, White, Saka as the right wing back, Martinelli as the left wing back, put in Jorginho and Partey in the middle, and then up top you could either put on Jesus or Trossard.
Both together.
Yeah, you both together, yeah, even better.
Or what about like Emil Smith Rowe and Trossard or Jesus?
I think Emil Smith Rowe, the thing is, Emil Smith Rowe, Vieira, perhaps even Reece Nelson, these guys, the problem with them is they haven't played as much throughout the season.
I agree with that too. Like, yeah, I'm talking about him, but he's not been on, bro. Like, and we don't even have the Europa League to give them minutes.
And I agree. Like, I would love to see Smith Rowe and even Eddie.
Yeah.
I'd love for them to come on, but at like 65 minutes.
Yeah.
Give them enough time to do something and change the game.
But we haven't done that.
Yeah, we haven't.
That's the problem. Like, if Smith Rowe kept coming on every single game, maybe by now he would be like,
able to start. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because that's what he was doing last year. He was coming on, making impact. Coming on. Right now, he has to like find his feet again. And to be honest, that's down to what we've done this season. Like, we've stuck to the tried and tested, what's worked. And it's worked. It's like, we've been celebrating it. We can't complain. Like, I've been so happy.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're not like...
But like I said, the last month, it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So now when you're going to the last 5 games, it's either do you stick with it and hope that it works, or do you change it now? And for me, I would change it. I think
we have to change it because we haven't won the last 4 games.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we have
you're
to
right.
change it.
Yeah, last
4 games. Like, normally it's 3 strikes and you're out. This is 4 strikes.
Yeah.
And this 4th one was a complete hiding.
Yeah.
We got schooled in every department.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you look at the whole season, City hasn't been that much better than us.
I mean, they've turned it up now, but
But yeah,
throughout the season they haven't.
Yeah, if we played them in our peak, like like 6 months ago, it might have been a different story.
Would have been completely different. Yeah, I think so.
But you know, they've been here, done this.
I think Arteta should just change it.
Yeah.
Change formation, change the way we're playing, use the wings more because that's where we're effective.
Do you reckon we could do it? Like we could still win this league?
It's such a different answer now than it was 2 weeks ago. The way City are playing, man, it's hard. I still want them to. I wholeheartedly want them to. And it's just down to City now. It's not even me saying anything. It doesn't even matter because it's not in our hands. Do you think we can?
Well, I'm the same, bro. My heart says, yeah, we can. Obviously, we need to get down and find what's gone wrong in the last 4 games. I think we really need to do that. We need to start respecting opponents, setting up so that, you know...
Setting up for each team.
Yep. I think we haven't done that. But my mind says, yeah. It's not even Arsenal. You know, that's what's like kind of sad. It's like the way City are playing. At this time of the season, it's like who can even beat them in this Premier League?
Yeah,
and not even like this Premier League. Who's going to beat them in world football?
Yeah, that's true.
We'll
see. Well, there's I think they got 7 games there.
Yeah, but then football is
6
this.
games there?
This is where football kind of always comes into play.
Oh, actually, last point. What else we need to do is Arteta needs to set up for Plan B.
Oh yeah, hard up.
He needs to set up a different way to play, and it needs to be either you play long ball and you push your wingers up, your quickest guys, and leave them up there on the halfway line. But he needs to set up for Plan B so that if we play one half, if you play 60 minutes and it doesn't work, you go, guys, Plan B, and everyone knows what to do, exactly how to set up.
You know, I think where it was really evident we didn't have a Plan B wasn't this last when we played Liverpool, bro. He chucked on QEO. It was 2-1, but it didn't feel like, it didn't look like we were gonna like hold it up. You know, he sort of sent on QEO, but it didn't look like we were parking the bus. It didn't look like we were like actually.
It didn't look like we tried to set up different.
Yeah.
We just sent on another guy to do the same job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels like, he sort of thinks about it, but it hasn't been practiced.
Yeah.
They haven't like implemented a Plan B in the training ground where you have those banks of for whatever. Hold out, make sure no one can see, no one gets through us.
Well, this is the time to do it now. 5 games to go, throw it all out there. So, let's go, you Gunners.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
Follow your heart, brother.
Yeah, we still can.